I'm using about 1.5 pounds of small cube boneless chicken breasts. You can also use chicken thighs or even ground chicken for this recipe. You could also use leftover cooked chicken and add it at the end before you top it with the Jiffy mix. You can use any oven-proof deep skillet, and I'm using my cast iron pan. On medium-high heat, I'm adding a little oil and the chicken, cooking and stirring for 2 to 3 minutes or until no longer pink. Now I'm adding in 1 cup each of diced onions and bell peppers with a little pinch of salt, cooking and stirring for 2 minutes. In goes 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, cooking and stirring for another minute. These are the spices I'm using: 1 teaspoon each of oregano, chili powder, smoked paprika, and cumin. You could also use your favorite taco seasoning. Tossing them in and stirring for a minute. This really smells good. I'm adding in 1.25 cups of tomato sauce, and this will depend on how much chicken you are cooking. Giving that a good stir. This is optional, but I'm adding in 1/4 cup of salsa because I have it, and it will add a little heat. This is a small can of green chilies, and I have 1 cup each of corn and black beans. As you can see, this chicken tamale pie is going to be packed full of flavors and textures. Giving that a good stir, bringing up to a simmer, and cooking for 4 to 5 minutes, or until the liquid is reduced a little, and then I'm turning off my heat. For the topping, I have a box of cornbread mix, and I'm using Jiffy. I'm following the package instructions and adding 1 egg and 1/3 cup of milk, giving that a good stir but not over mixing. To give the topping a little more flavor and texture, I'm adding about 1/4 cup of cheese and about 1/4 cup of corn, giving that another good stir to combine. I'm sprinkling a little cheese on top, and then I'm spooning on the cornbread topping and spreading out as best I can. This is going into a preheated 400-degree Fahrenheit oven and baking for 25 to 30 minutes. And the chicken tamale pie is done. While the pie is still warm, I'm topping with a little more grated cheese and chopped green onions. Going to let this cool for about 10 to 15 minutes before serving. I really like the Tex-Mex flavors, and the cornbread just takes it over the top. If you're looking for an easy one-pot dinner that is full of flavor and satisfying, this is it. I hope you give this chicken tamale pie recipe a try and enjoy. This chicken a la king recipe is rich and creamy and good. If you have leftover chicken, this is a great go-to recipe, and you can serve it with just about anything. In my pan on medium heat, I have 1 stick or 1/2 cup of butter and 1 cup each of diced onions and bell peppers, cooking and stirring for a couple minutes. This is 1 8-ounce package of sliced mushrooms, cooking and stirring for about 5 to 7 minutes or until the mushrooms cook down. Leave a little liquid and fat on the bottom of the pan. Adding in 2 cloves of minced garlic and about 1/4 teaspoon each of salt and black pepper. You can taste and season along the way. Cooking and stirring for about 30 seconds, and then I'm adding in 1/2 cup of flour. Cooking and stirring for a minute or 2, or until the flour is absorbed. pouring in 2 cups of homemade chicken broth. If you're using a boxed or canned broth, just be careful of the sodium content. Turning my heat up to bring this up to a simmer. Stirring and scraping the bottom of the pan. I'm also adding in 1½ cups of milk. To boost the flavor a little, I'm adding in a teaspoon of better than bouillon chicken. A sprinkle more of black pepper and giving that a stir. Bringing this up to a low simmer and cooking for 3 to 5 minutes or until the sauce slightly thickens. What makes chicken a la king so creamy and silky good is this. We are going to temper these 2 rich egg yolks into the sauce, and they will take this chicken a la king to another level good. I turn my sauce down to low. In a bowl, I'm whisking 2 egg yolks and a 1/3 cup of heavy cream. Now I'm slowly pouring in about a 1/4 cup of the hot mixture into the egg cream mixture while I whisk vigorously. You want to continuously stir so you even out the temperature and you don't cook the eggs. Stir for about 10 seconds, and we are immediately going to pour this mixture back into the saucepan, again whisking continuously. You don't want the eggs to cook. You want a nice, smooth, silky, creamy sauce. Once incorporated, turn the heat up to a low medium and cook for a couple minutes. Now 2 of the classic ingredients in chicken a la king. 1 cup of frozen peas and 1 cup of drained chopped pimentos. Giving that a good stir and bringing up to a low simmer. Adding in 4 cups of diced cooked rotisserie chicken. Another good stir and cook for a couple minutes or until the chicken is heated through. If the consistency is too thick, you can thin out with a little broth. Make sure you taste for any seasonings, and it is ready to eat. Tonight I'm serving over some spaghetti squash and buttermilk biscuits. You can also serve over rice, pasta, potatoes, or toast. It really doesn't matter. The chicken a la king is so good. I hope you give this classic chicken a la king recipe a try and enjoy. I'm starting by sautéing the vegetables in butter. In my skillet on medium heat, I'm adding in 3 tablespoons of butter, 4 cloves of minced garlic, 1 cup of onions, 1 cup of bell peppers, and about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Cooking and stirring for 3 to 4 minutes or just until the onions change color, and then I'm removing from the heat. I have a pound of spaghetti that I'm breaking in half and cooking for 7 minutes or just shy of being done. I'm breaking it because it'll be easier to eat. While the spaghetti is cooking, I'm mixing all my other ingredients. In a large bowl, I have 2 cans of cream and mushroom soup, and I'm adding in 1 cup of chicken broth, giving that a good whisk. Now all my sautéed vegetables, about 2 good tablespoons of chopped pimentos, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of oregano, giving that a good stir to incorporate. This is 8 ounces of cubed Velveeta cheese and 8 ounces of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. If you don't have the Velveeta, just use all sharp cheddar, giving another good stir. I have 3 cups of diced cooked rotisserie chicken. You can also use canned chicken in this recipe. Another good stir. My 7-minute timer just went off and the spaghetti is ready. Using a large strainer spoon to put the spaghetti directly into the mixture. Adding in another cup of chicken broth. You got it, another good stir. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. In my greased 9x13 baking dish, I'm spooning in my chicken spaghetti mixture and leveling out. Covering with foil, and this is going into the oven for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, remove from the oven, uncover, and sprinkle the top with a cup more of the grated cheddar cheese. It's always better with more cheese. Going back into the oven uncovered for an additional 10 minutes or until the cheese is melted and bubbly. The chicken spaghetti casserole is done and smelling good. Letting it rest for about 15 minutes because it is molten hot. This is such an easy casserole, and you can get most of the ingredients from your pantry. You can make this your own by adding the seasonings and vegetables that you like. I hope you give this chicken spaghetti casserole a try and enjoy. If you like this video recipe, please hit the like and subscribe button. Remember to hit the bell next to the subscribe to make sure that you get my future video recipes. You can also find me on Facebook and at my website. Feel free to share this recipe and my channel with your friends and family. And until next time, much love.